in this series of tutorials I'll be creating a track from scratch. All the techniques I show you can be translated to using other types of workstations. So in these tutorials the methods will be broken down into sections. We will look at the initial idea, what we are actually trying to make, then the most important aspect first, which is the kick drum and bass sequence and getting those to sit right in the mix. We will then focus on the lead or hook sound and a vocal, which will be the main character of the track, second to the kick drum and bass. So without further ado, let's get making an amazing techno track that you can impress your friends with and potentially DJ into a live set. So in this first tutorial I want to show you my preferred way for kicking off a hard techno track. So firstly, I'll be focusing on the main elements of any techno track, which are fundamentally the kick and the kick bass tone. So as you can see here, I originally dragged a lot of different audio samples in, which I downloaded from the Splice website. It's very important to use a good quality kick sample from the start, so you get that good punch sound that carries the track through. I look for a good clean kick sample that sounds nice and clean across the low and high tonal range. So this is the kick. So if I double click on this kick here, you can see that I've actually shortened it just slightly, taking off the tail sort of reverb sound of that original kick using the fade tool, which you can just drag like that. So if you listen to this one, it sounds nice and punchy right from the start. Then as you can see there, I've created a bus channel to bus 1, which has a distortion plugin on it, and I've reduced the send amount to 8.4. I've done this so that it still retains its impactful clean sound. I've then copied this same kick sound to audio track 4, which I've added 3 plugins to. I've got the EQ, a reverb and a compressor, and again this is bus to channel 1. So what we're trying to do is bus both these sounds to a distortion plugin at the end of the chain, so we get a nice sort of saturated techno kick sound. So the first plugin is Logic's inbuilt EQ. As you can see here, I've cut all of the high signals off, ranging from 2000 Hertz, which is this one, to halfway, drag that to halfway, and the 7500 Hertz icon I've dragged to halfway as well. I've also put a slight dip in at 100 Hertz there to make room for the actual main kick punch to come through. So I've then added a free plugin which is called the Valhalla Massive Reverb, which is this one, which you can just download for free online. And I've used a preset which is the Bright Room, and I've taken the delay down a bit and the feedback. Now I'm using this to add that sort of techno warehouse boom sound underneath the main kick to give it its fullness. I've then added a Logic built-in plugin which is the compressor, this one here, and I've set that as a sidechain, so it basically cuts out the first punch sound of the kick and just lets our main kick shine through. I've turned the ratio up to 9, and I've put some makeup gain on there to take it up to about 5 dB, just to make up for that slight loss in volume. So the sidechain, you just basically go up to here on the audio and you go to sidechain, which is this sidechain track here, which is just a copy of the actual main kick and just sits there. And I've turned the output to no output because you don't want to hear 2 kicks coming through. So this sub bass ends up sounding like, and then together with the main kick, so it took me a while to find the right kick sound on Splice, but I think I got as close to the reference track here as I can. It's worth taking your time, guys, A/B testing a few samples to get the closest matching sound so you can find the right sound right from the start of the project. I'm not too worried about getting the same key as the reference track at the moment. I'm just more concerned about getting a punchy, slightly distorted big room sound that sounds similar to this reference track. I usually set the key of the track to the key of the kick, But if you prefer, you can use a specific key. You can just put that sample into the sampler on your DAW, then convert it to a MIDI track. You'd simply bounce out this kick here and then reintroduce it into a sampler. So you just go like that, software instrument, and you choose the quick sampler in mono, and then you drag that sample into here.